Hi, my unbothered friends. Today I'm going to talk about the fact that my adult sons still live at home and how my husband and I get caught making out all the time. But first, I want to talk about all the stinking weather. And as humans, I get it. We're never satisfied with the weather, but I don't know if you can tell, like, it's even pouring down now. But I can't do anything outside. I can't even go walking and bike riding because it's just constantly raining. Yesterday we had some bad thunderstorms. Biscuit and Gravy wig out during thunderstorms. I try to give them like little calming pills. Gravy wouldn't even eat his calming pill. I even doused it in some peanut butter, a little fart, just licked and ate the peanut butter around it. But they did pretty good. Nonetheless, about the thunderstorms or whatnot. Usually they like wig out, go try to hide in some dark places or whatever. They did pretty good. But ultimately, what I wanted to share with you is the fact that my husband and I make out with each other, and we're constantly getting caught making out. So, like one instance, like he'll be sitting on the couch. We have like zero gravity recliners or couch, and so on the end, my husband's recliner is like a zero gravity, and so you can actually lay parallel, and it's electric, so you just push a little button and it lays back. Well, one day he was doing that and he said something, so I just got on the couch and straddled him and we made out or whatever. And where our living room is, so the back of the couch actually butts up to the hallway where the boys' room. I say boys because they're my boys, but they adult sons in their 30s, still living at home. And so a lot of times it's the hermit, my oldest son. The hermit will come out of his room and catch us. And sometimes they'll say something, and sometimes they'll just look at us and turn around and go back and doing whatever. But we have the one kitchen, and so everybody has to go to the kitchen to eat. But the straddle moment, I think the hermit came out, and I think he had his earbuds in. I don't think he paid any attention, and so I think we saw him and we quit making out. There has been times the husband and I will be in the kitchen and we fondle each other all the time. We grab each other's butts, or I'll grab his package and he'll grab my boobs. Or sometimes we'll just make out. And of course, we always say phrases, movie phrases or music phrases, but most of the time it's movie phrases. And so, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the movie. It was Eddie Murphy, and all the characters were fat, and he did it. I can't remember the name of the movie, but the mama and the daddy, when they make out and everything, and they'll kiss and they'll out, or no, it was the grandma, so it's the dad's mom, and she did something. She's all Ken Norton, so that's what we do, or Ed Norton, or whatever the name is. So that's what we do. So sometimes when the husband and I are making out and we're kissing, I'll be like, "Oh, Ken Norton," and the kids just roll their eyes. But there's quite often times that we'll be making out in the kitchen, hugging and loving, and the boys will come in and it's like, oh. And so used to, I would just tell them, well, you can move out. But with today's cost of living and price of inflation, it's kind of difficult. The hermit actually had anxiety. He found an apartment, paid the deposit, and the day before he was going to move out, he canceled everything because he was like, I don't know, he just had anxiety and couldn't fathom, I guess, living on his own because he had two adults. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that here we are. My husband and I, like, I've been with him since I was 16, and so my husband and I are making out constantly and get caught making out. And I say get caught because we just get walked in on. Sometimes we make inappropriate comments to each other, and the kids are just like, oh, and roll their eyes. But they know they can't do or say anything. But like I said, I used to tell them, well, just move out if you don't like it. Now I just don't say anything because I know they can't afford to move out. But we just don't stop making out. So, that might explain why the hermit stays in his room all the time. But anyway, so that's all I wanted to share with y'all today, is that I don't know. It was like, when you're in your relationship, do your adult children still live at home, and do they catch you, or do you do everything behind closed doors? when the boys were little, I used to call it paying bills. So funny story. And I was just going to end, and I just thought about this. So when the boys were little and we were going to church, they were actually friends with the pastor's kids. So this makes it even better. But when me and my husband would want to have our quality time together, we would shut and lock the door, obviously, but we would tell them, okay, mom and dad are going to go in here and pay bills. Don't bother us, and we'll come out later. Well, this one day I went to go pick the hermit when he was younger, right, up, and the pastor pulled me aside and was like, Christina, do I need to help you and your husband? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, we have funds at the church. We can help you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't need help. Well, the hermit, which he didn't call him that, he called him by his name. He's like, the hermit told us that he's very worried about y'all, that all y'all are doing are paying bills. And so we've got funds to help you. And I'm sitting and I'm looking, and then it dawned on me. And I'm looking at my pastor of the church. And I'm like, how do I tell him? I have no filter. I don't care. I don't get embarrassed. So I said, well, actually, Pastor, paying bills is code for me and my husband having sex. And he's like, okay, no need to say anything else. We're done. So that says anything about my husband and mine relationship. It is what it is. So the poor hermit's been dealing with it for quite some time. But anyway, tell me in the comments how you and your husband's relationship, or you and your wife's relationship is, and do your adult children still live at home, and how are you coping with all of that? And I'm definitely going to have other stories to share with living with my adult children. But that one just came to mind because me and my husband get caught making out all the time. But anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.